this one because I could not get my all this software I have to load. So I'm gonna have to wait on y'all to come in here to the new one. So let me see, how do I actually cancel this one? And I know all my people are in the other live. Um, just gonna wait on y'all to come in here. Cancel this. It's just so annoying. Delete. Hey y'all. Okay, so I'm holding my phone. I am holding my phone because I set up, let me just show y'all. Look, you see that equipment? All of this nice equipment I have set up with sound and everything. It ain't working. So we're gonna do this on the phone. I believe my chats are open, but let me just open these. I was not even prepared to have to hold the dang on phone while I did this. So let me see if I can view it while I'm on the computer. I'm about to delete this other live right here. She's getting deleted. Because I want people to come over to this one. I see some thumbs up, so I'm gonna wait on some more people to get in. I'm so sorry about starting late, y'all. Your girl has never done a YouTube live before. This was gonna be my first one, so we're having to regroup and redirect. I was gonna be all professional tonight because I had the whole setup, but we're not doing professional. We're not doing that. We just about to have some real talk. I do want to be able to see your comments because I want to. Hey, Bridget, I do want to be able to see the comments. So y'all are just gonna have to walk through the house with me as we talk about some things. I see there's a couple people in here. So as we all congregate, I want to see you say hello. I'm finding my tripod. Here it is in my purse. Finding my tripod because I'm gonna get this phone out of my hand. I'm gonna go over to YouTube and I'm still going to be able to look at the comments and respond to you. So hey y'all, my name is Naja. I am with Naja News. I'm the founder of Naja News, and I wanted tonight to be about connecting with my YouTube audience because I have yet to. This is my first time. We were supposed to start this at 7. I just started it 2 minutes ago, and my cute little equipment did not work, and so now we are here. I wanted to come in, hey God's fave, I wanted to come in and just have some real talk with y'all for a chance to for you guys to put me in the hot seat. You all, I'm new to many of you, but quickly we are building and developing community, and I know that it's important to come in and just meet and talk, and there's some things that I want to talk about tonight. Me being a person that's kind of new to the YouTube landscape, there's more than likely there's a particular case that you found me for. You found Naja News, you like the way I deliver it. But one thing that I've realized that happens when you build a swift audience, or you're the new guy on the block, is people will feel that they need to defend their territory, number one, and they do that by either taking you out. And how do they take you out? They try to ruin your credibility. They threaten you. They just send negativity your way. But y'all don't know me over here on YouTube, but I've been doing the work that I do for double-digit years at this point. I've been online. Y'all can see my first YouTube video was probably uploaded like 15 years ago. And I've changed niches a few times, but 50 out of 15 years, the last, what does it say? Oh, what's it say? I'm looking at this. Hey, y'all, Cassandra. But for the last almost 13, 14 years, I've been working with people in high conflict blended families. That means step parenting, co-parenting, divorce drama. And the thing that drew me to the story that you probably found me on was I saw the co-parenting aspect of it. I was like, and I saw also the breakup aspect of it. I'm gonna turn off all my cameras so y'all just gonna walk with me. Also, I'm about to introduce y'all to some new stories. So I got my little Naja News cup, not little, because don't call your things little. So you all probably came here because of one particular story, but unfortunately, I see instances like this every day in my practice. Meaning, Sometimes they're crimes of passion. Sometimes they are instances where there's been a setup. Sometimes they are just outright vindictive, malicious things. Sometimes we're dealing with pure sociopath and psychopaths. And that's the kind of stuff I want to talk about. I want to talk to y'all about the aspect of it, not even necessarily the mental health aspect of it, but I want to be able to weave that into the type of stories that I tell you all. I don't know if y'all want to hear about the stories, like the new stuff that I'm working on, or do you just want to wait? Do you want to just wait and see me talk about it when the videos come out? Like, you kind of, I need to understand what it is y'all want to see from me. And I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the reason that a lot of you are here, and the reason that a lot of you have tuned into my channel and my page is because of Romika's story. I want to talk about why I was so drawn to that story. I know why we all were, because that particular day, September 8th, we watched the video. We watched the aftermath, and we watched what we didn't know at the time. It was her final moments. And now that this last week, this other video has surfaced, and we've gotten a chance to kind of dispel. Hold on, let me put my phone in the tripod. Lord, I feel like I am an older millennial though. So there's that. Oh, now I don't have to touch the phone. Jeremiah, of course you can have a shout out. Hey, Zoe. Girl, can you see my lace? Y'all read me the other day. Y'all read me so bad because I kept touching my wig. So I went to the Diddy trial. I went to the Diddy trial. Y'all know I live in New York City. And if you want to know how I ended up in the courtroom, like Diddy was here, I was like, boom, 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 boom. 3 rows away. If you want to know the story, I can tell you the story, but I'm jumping around right now. Yeah. Sometimes individuals refuse to remove their personal emotions from facts. Hey, we human. I've been working in the business of human emotion for a very long time, and I understand that too. I understand, and I give grace to the fact that we all carry a bias, but I do know that in certain realms of work, our biases, we're supposed to be able to check those. And I do not apologize for any of my, I can't call them counterparts. I can't necessarily even call some of them peers, because to deem someone a peer, that means they're an equal. I'm not everybody's peer. There are some people that are way eons above me, but then there's some other people who I just could never ever do or say the things that they do or present in the way that they do. So, so I would just say counterparts, I guess. Counterparts? Yeah. Hey, Jeremiah, thank you so much for the compliment. Aaron says, what lace? Girl, you see this lace. So I want to talk first and foremost about the Romika case. And I also want you all to ask me questions about the case. I want you to ask me questions about some of the things that we've seen and we've heard and all of that. So I'm open to answering questions. I'm open to giving you, this is a space where I can give you my thoughts. And you see, as I've been presenting a developing story, the thing that gets sticky with developing stories is when you start injecting your own thought and opinion and the story is still developing, it appears like you're picking a side. And that's not like, you don't want to do that. When you're presenting news in a journalistic way, you don't want to do that. You literally want to present the story. But in a developing story, it's hard because all of the facts are not crystal clear. We simply do not know. We simply don't know all of the facts in developing stories, especially in the Romika case, because it's back in the day when we would look at stories, y'all, we didn't have access to a victim's or even an assailant's social media. These people were fodder for us. Like, those of us that watch true crime, we can watch these people's stories and be like, oh man, that's so messed up. But then now you can go actually to these people's social media. You can see their day-to-day lives. You can go and engage with them in some cases. Carlos commented on one of my Facebook pages. I'd made a post about a video about the day that he reappeared on social media. And I was shocked. Considering there's an ongoing investigation, considering that the public outcry is what it is. I was just like, do you have an attorney? Because surely they're telling you to steer clear from interacting with anybody. That would, just I'm just like, that's really odd. But I've seen him going back and forth with different people, with the family members, and I was like, okay, this is a different type of case. It's a different type of scenario. Um, Also, I've gotten when you all first met me, it was with my friend Steph Watts, who is an amazing investigative journalist. He's great at what he does. Steph has taken me under his wing, and we've been friends for a long, long, long time. And I've always admired the work that he does. And he's working on a project now that intersects with my work. Like I told y'all at the beginning, I've been working with people in very high conflict family situations. That's also led over into me working with getting, I have a couple contracts with corporations. And so what I'll do if there is a group dispute in order to help a big corporation avoid a major lawsuit, because people be suing their jobs. I know people that have millions of dollars from suing their jobs. In order to help that from becoming possible, they'll bring me in to act as a mediator, to act as a person, but I am representing the company in those instances. Um, okay, Erin said, what story do you want to go over first? Because I'm glad that Puffy will be home soon. You're glad? You are glad? Oh my God. You okay? Let me see. Let me go through some of these comments. Yep, you're right, Crystal. You're absolutely right. Okay. Oh, hey, I'm sending you love, Jeremiah. Let you know I'm really struggling. I have some type of lung cancer. What type do you have? And I was just wondering if you could pray with me on a live stream. I'm gonna do you one even better. We're gonna all pray with you, Jeremiah. We're gonna all just pray with you when we get in that mode. Um, Bridget, hey Bridget, why was everyone ready to blame Holly? Nothing about the situation made it look like she and Carlos started with Romika. If she wasn't ready for the confrontation, why did Romika get out of her car? That is the $1,000,000 question that none of us have the answer to. And if a streamer, a vlogger, a person that brands themselves as a journalist, if they tell you they know her motivations, the police have access to everyone's devices. I can tell you guys that. So maybe they know if they've seen a text message, and this is me speculating. I don't know, but I just know that it's understood that footage will be released before the incident, but that means somebody has gotten access to some sort of, like, the cameras, like the surveillance cameras from the local businesses or apartments or people's personal cameras. If somebody had a Tesla over there, then maybe they saw something, but we don't know. We can only speculate. I can say that because I was not there. Now, you all know because of false narrative that was given from the beginning. Hey, Honey Dip. What's up, Honey Dip? That false narrative, there's so many narratives when a crime like that happens, because people like messy shit when it does not involve their loved ones, which is why when it came to covering a live developing story, meaning we, the public, are getting little bits of information. Some of us have access to other bits of information. Some people are putting straight up false narratives out there to kind of control it because media has such a powerful voice. I've seen media get people in trouble. And, when I saw what was happening with Romika's case, that lady has been interned. Her body, her spirit is in the by and by. And so we're still saying her name, which is wild because, like I said on one of my videos, a lot of us ain't gonna get that. When we're gone, we're out of here. But I was thinking last night, I said, okay, I didn't know her. You didn't know her, but we've all been touched one way or another by the experience and watching what these people are going through. Jeremiah says, can you pray with me now? Because I have to go at 7:50. I'm not allowed to be on YouTube after that. I'm just going to miss the chance of you. Lord, everybody bow your heads. Oh, Lord, we come to you humbly in submission and in faith. I ask that our friend, Jeremiah, you are now our friend. Everybody on this live, we are in agreement and we are praying and appealing to all of our higher powers, no matter what you call your higher power. We're appealing to that on behalf of your son, your person, your child, Jeremiah. We ask for full healing. We ask for miraculous healing. We ask for results that baffle the doctors. We ask that they study his case, Jeremiah's case, for years to come with the full confusion, but understanding that he is healed and cancer free. And they don't know how. Jeremiah, you're going to be a miracle. And you're going to come back and tell us how much of a miracle you are. And you're going to be like, dang, Naja, you was right. So please keep me posted on your progress and prognoses. I'm sure everybody would like to hear that. Thank you all so much for being patient. If you are or are not a praying person, Jeremiah asked me for that, and I wanted to pay the respect of doing that. So if you don't pray to the same God that I do, I still love you anyway. I love you more. Teach me something about your God. So all right. So let's get back to what we were talking about. So one thing about, like I said, developing cases is I started to notice things got very, very convoluted in the realm of talking about Romika Meeks's case. Things got, things are getting out of hand. And I'm trying to be careful with my words because I saw some things that I did not necessarily like. Like y'all know, I put out content. I put it out with integrity. I put it out, even me just saying, hey, I've had a conversation with a person. And y'all saw that one video and people were up in arms because I read the transcript from a conversation that I'd had with a witness. I'll say this. I was able to verify that that person was where they said they were. Number one, because I would not have read it. It wouldn't have taken me. It happened on September 8th. You notice I didn't release that video for a while because I had already spoken to that witness. But one thing I do, if you call me and say, hey, Naja, I got some information, I'm always going to say, well, can I, and I don't, don't be offended. I'm always going to say, can you show me where you got the information? Can you show me where you were? Can you show me why you're in the area? Oh, you claim to have been going to this corner store. Like I literally asked for details, and that is simply called investigative research. When you work for a big news conglomerate, they have research teams that go and vet stories. For this right here, it's just me. So my research is as simple as, and somebody asked me in the comments, well, can you show receipts? Absolutely not. I absolutely am not able to show you the things that I use to verify. But if you gave me some information, I wouldn't share that with the general public either. I hope you all can understand that. And when I tell you someone's experience, that's like somebody getting up on Eyewitness News. What was that guy's name? Antoine, who was like, hide your wife, hide your kids. He got famous for doing the Eyewitness News. An eyewitness can have been on the scene and seen something and believe their entire truth. When I started reading the statistics on the things that eyewitnesses get wrong and how they get ripped apart in court, oh my God, it's alarming. It's alarming. You don't want your life to be hanging in the gallows when an eyewitness that can't see out of this eye and they got a cataract on this eye and has memory problems and they smoke all the time is the one to have to sit on the stand and tell exactly what they saw 10, 20, 30 days ago, a year ago, by the time your trial comes up. We don't really want that. Holly did nothing wrong. Prayers for both of their families. Absolutely right. Yeah. So, like you said, Bridget, reading that got me into some lanes, into some mouths, into some conversations that I didn't see them. I don't like, I didn't see them. It's not my first time. I've had internet troll attacks before from who supporters because of stories that I've reported on. And this particular attack was from people that look like me, people that talk like me. It was from us. It was from our people. So I was more understanding because I was like, people are hurt and people are very emotional about this. I'm a new face. We still have to build trust. And I'm telling you something that goes completely against. I am reading you an account that goes completely against what your mind would like for you to believe. I took the note, I transcribed the conversation and I read it as exactly as it was. And, that caused fodder. It caused something negative. And y'all, do I have to say, like, I hope y'all don't make me say it. Like, do I have to say, because it feels nasty and greasy and funky and clogged artery. It's giving alone. It's giving living in mom's basement. It's giving filth. Like, I don't want to say it. So y'all know. You can type it in the comments if you want to. I'm not gonna delete it. But I just, that's not what I'm about. Like, I really want to bring you guys intensity on stories. But I do want to make sure that attacks or people building off their own fledgling pages and using our name. I don't even know y'all. Like, I'm like, I don't come over here to YouTube to make enemies. I've always recognized, and I have the relationships to what I do. I'm not bragging, but I was in the Diddy courthouse the other day. I am not bragging, but some of the rooms that I sat in, if y'all look around my YouTube and see some of the jobs that I hold now, I am not bragging, but I've gotten all the opportunities that I have, thank by the grace of God, and then because of the relationships I've built. So I'm all about, Naja is all about collaboration over competition. Because one thing I know, there's way more than enough for all of us. There's way more enough. There's enough for all of us to eat plentifully and have a lot left over, which is why I always give information away. There's so many of you that have emailed me, and we've gone back and forth in email in very positive ways. You've given me information. You've led me to other stories that I am working on and that I'm covering now. D-Red said it's very messy. I think the problem is people are looking at this from a non-law point of view. Yeah, people who know law know, dang. People who know the law know that this case is more than likely self-justifiable. I can say this, they are still, because of the rah, rah, rah and the noise that we have created, and I'm saying we content creators, whether our intentions, and it's not been my intention. I wanted to shout this story from the rooftops because this ain't the first case I've seen of a baby mama, a baby daddy, baby mama, kids caught in between. This is not the first case I've seen of family violence. So when I saw it, I immediately put my thinking cap on and say, okay, what happened? What happened here? So it drew me in, because I always look at stories from the back end and say, okay, how do we get here? How do we get here to this day where these three people were on a scene and only two of them able to walk away? You're welcome, Jeremiah. Unless you do that. This case made me start watching her. She was transparent and gave the facts. Naja, you are professional, and that's why I'm here. Thank you, Erin. You are that girl. Hey, thank you so much. We don't know what's going to happen in this case, y'all. We don't know what's going to happen in Romika's case. They are investigating. There is an open investigation. If I can talk theory, let's just talk theory and pure speculation. From the very first video where a lot of y'all met me at, I can't hide this because we said it on the video, you know that somebody I had on the channel has a direct connection with the police department there. So I will not speak ill of a police department, but that person specifically said 70-something% of these cases that are like this, they just be like, okay, all right, we're not going to prosecute. And the offender or the assailant or the in this case, the shooter is let go without fine or cause or consequence, the consequences that you and I or everybody would want. And I initially did not expect that for this case, but I knew the noise that was happening online, the family organizing a march, and all of the YouTube, like if you type in Romika's name, there's probably 500-600 videos about her case. Those videos are dying down now because that's what happens when content creators, they find the next case and the trending topic leads to something else. I backed off from this case, not because I'm not interested, because I'm still getting the information. I do have 2 videos that are right here in my YouTube that are ready to go, but I've been skeptic to release them because of I feel like it was pure hatred. It was just straight up hatred, and not from y'all, because the audience is reading. I understand that Naja looks like she's agreeing with this because she read a story. That's like me reading you Three Billy Goats Gruff, and you mad because I read you the story, and you make a video about me because I read you a story, and you make a post, and you have a 5-hour live because I done read you a damn story. Like, which is why I went on to kind of classify the type of community that I want to build on this channel. I want to build, we are a community of intrinsic people that know how to think with depth. We know how to look at both sides, even if one side pisses us off. We know how to be emotional with each other, but we're not going to drag each other. We ain't, that's not what this is about. We're not going to disrespect each other. We're not going to defame or degrade one another. And we're all adults, and it's surprising to have to say that to grown people. But everybody didn't learn the golden rule. What's up, Angela? Angela says justice for Romika. Amen. Honey Dip Drip says, why do you think they let so many of these cases go? What's your honest opinion? Okay. I think they let so many of these cases go because they don't have the manpower. If we're going to talk specifically Chicago, now Chicago wasn't even on like the list of, can I say the M word? I don't know if they're going to flag this live or not, but Chicago wasn't even on that. I think Chicago was 26. Somebody can tell me the top cities for shootings, violence, death in the United States was Memphis, St. Louis, Oakland. I remember those being the top. I know Memphis was number one, but Chicago has had a whole bunch of bloody summers. With that being said, I don't know if they have the manpower to investigate every single case with fervor. I don't know if they have the straight up manpower. I do know how fast they moved for Jussie Smollett's case and dedicated over. They made him pay back $300,000 in police and investigative hours. Because they were like, oh, you lied and you got to pay back all this back pay. Oh, I can say it? No, I wasn't trying to say the N word. I was talking about M. It rhymes with girder, but it starts with an M. Like, I didn't know if I could say that on here. But Honey Drip, I think they let it go because just a lack of resources. However, if you make noise about your loved one's case, and this is anybody, if you're in the hospital sick, I tell people, especially if you look like us, you don't go by yourself. You need somebody with a loud mouth that is knowledgeable to advocate for you and to fight for you. So if you become, God forbid, like if victimhood happens anywhere near you, you got to make noise. Like, I like what her family is doing, Romika's family is doing. They got the marches going on. They're doing petitions. They are doing all of the things to have an investigation happen. Now, when the investigation happens, that's a different thing. Like, I can tell y'all this. There is an active investigation, but that's not a secret. That should be public knowledge. Witnesses have already been called in. And let's just talk about the grand jury process, because there was Honey Drip saying, ain't nobody died in that Smollett case, and they did all of that. They did all of that because Smollett mentioned a person's name, and he claimed that crime was committed under the name of he who shall not be named. And he who shall not be named, he called CPD and was like, I'm taking all your funding. You need to get this so-and-so in check. And they did what they had to do, and they found some people to admit to it. I interviewed, by the way, I don't know if y'all know this, I interviewed Ola and Bola, the guys that claimed that they did that Jussie hired them. I interviewed them. It's here on YouTube. It's not on my page, but perhaps I'll, bring them on. No, not this channel, but it's on a podcast called Pants on Fire. And that podcast was very controversial. So I am not new to controversy, but I did talk to them. We talked to a bunch of villainous characters on that particular podcast. So anyway, say unalived. Oh yes, duh, that's right, unalived. I need to say unalived. This case, in fact, is similar to the Mike Brown case in St. Louis. Will you ask everyone to? Yes. Oh my gosh. Let me get my pen and paper. Can you all? That's such a good idea, Erin. Oh my gosh. Erin says, can you ask everyone to name a case that they are interested in? Yes. Aaron, you are a freaking genius. Yeah, you all give me some names of cases that you're interested in. Nobody died in that Jussie case, but you see that was all about ego, and they found a solution. I saw Jussie's boyfriend yesterday in Harlem, y'all. I saw Jussie's boyfriend yesterday in Harlem. For real. And I want to get Jussie on the show because I've talked to Ola and Bola, but I would love for Jussie to come over here too. Shanquilla, Mike Brown. And I don't know if y'all saw the video, but Sue Ann, the lawyer that came on one of the episodes, we talked about Cardi B. She actually is one of the investigators. Well, she works for Ben Crump's law firm. She's his lead attorney, and she was the main contact with the family. So, this is what it takes, y'all. It takes content creators. It takes the public to keep these people's name alive long after they're gone. Because will we not want somebody to advocate and fight for justice for us? Will we not want that? John Bonet. Okay, so Zoe, Steph that was on the show worked for John Bonet. Like 4 of the witnesses died. John Bonet's parents are dead. One of them from mysterious causes. A lot of people died from mysterious causes in that case. And I told Aaron what happened. I sent her an email. So ask Aaron because Steph, he told me what happened, but I forget what happened. You want New York cases. Karen Lacey in the LSU football player story. Karen Lacey. Karen, you said Karen Lacey. Karen. Oh, I typed in the wrong words. And keeping Romika's story alive. I talked to another witness. I'm sorry, I talked to another, I guess you could say this person was not a witness. They were not on the scene at all. They did attend the service and they know both sides of the family, and they were just kind of able to give some insight. And I've been holding that video because I didn't know if that was valuable enough, because I don't care about the damn likes and clicks. I'm good. I like bringing y'all stories. Like I don't care about I don't care about that thing. Is it cool to get views? Absolutely, but not at the expense of giving out wrong information. That one video that we all saw last week when she at the very end and gave a different angle. I got that video like 3 days before everybody else. And in my mind, I rushed. I was like, oh, I got it from an anonymous phone number. And then I was like, hey, have you sent it to anybody else? They were like, no. I didn't do anything with that video for 3 days. I didn't release it to the public because I was like, yo, this is effed up. And I was not in such a hurry. Like, I'm not so thirsty and desperate to get stuff out there. And I don't want Naja News to be about rushing just because I'm the first. Yeah, does it get you clicks and views? Absolutely. But what I did do is I got the video. I sat with it for a day. I ruminated on it. That night, I made a whole video of me going through the video. I chopped it up and I gave commentary on it. I still have that in my arsenal because I'm just like, okay, Naja. And then I saw that the video had gotten released. I saw that the person was like, okay, you ain't sending it out. You're not getting it out fast enough. And they started sending it to other sources. So it's not about me it's not for me. Like, I don't know if Naja News is going to be first, but I am going to present you all different thought-provoking angles. And sometimes that does upset the general public that only has the ability, maybe because of grief. Maybe some people are just neurodivergent and can't think in non-linear senses, but I am going to give you stuff that makes you think in a non-linear way. So I couldn't do it. That Romika case has me tired. It was just I didn't mind. Like, I feel you, Charlie. I didn't mind the people in the comments being so they say don't shoot the messenger. They're like, oh my God, they were mad at me. But I just saw the disgusting, it was straight up disgusting. I was like, oh, I forgot that there's people out here like this that are like scavengers. Like literal, what are shrimp? Aren't shrimp and catfish scavengers? I was like, oh, I forgot there's alley cats just that are scavenging whatever piece of content they can and scraping to put something together. So that took me aback a little, and I don't want to be anything like that. I don't want to be associated. I don't want to be adjacent. I don't want nothing like that. So I had to really like, I was like, what I'm putting out. I had to say, Naja, is what you're putting out honoring the people that you are talking about, whether they are still here or not? Are you disrespecting your platform? Can you stand behind what you say? That last video, the one that I did about this, um, when I was straight up, I was like, hey, y'all, I had this witness's information. I vetted them. All I can tell y'all is they were where they said they were, and boom. Now, what I read, different type of commotion, but Jalen Eason, oh my God. Shrita, the family is still, So I just watched a video on that the other day. Unfortunately, what happens in civil lawsuits, and you're talking about the young lady, oh wait, the Cabo Six. Wait, I was thinking about the girl that got beat up in her hotel room. Is that what you're talking about, Honey Drip? Is that what you're talking about? Okay. The Cabo Six. Oh, Shanquella. So you know what? So I see the last article on that was June 20th, 2026, 2025, if somebody can. October 30th, 2024. Okay, Cabo Six is good. Jalea Eason, a 6-year-old girl in the Bronx, was brutally murdered by her mother in 2023. Have not heard anybody about the result of the case. Since I'm in New York, y'all getting kind of close to home. Like, do I want to work on cases that are so close to me? I guess that means I can go to the family members' houses and interview them straight up. Princess. Princess made a good point. She was like, I'm here in New York. Aaron also said that too. Like, I want to hear some New York cases. This does mean that I can go to these people and ask questions. But let me think about that. Let me think about the reality of what that looks like, doing cases that are so close to home. Guys, but they were mad because you came with facts. Crystal said they mad at what the truth yields. Sending love to Jeremiah. Thank you, Aaron. Okay, yes, Honey Drip. So just about the Cabo Six, I did the family sued the FBI in the Cabo Six, but the lawsuit was dropped against the Cabo Six main aggressor. Changed her name, and they're fighting the lawsuit and saying that it should be heard in Mexico. I don't know what hearing that case in Mexico, because I don't know if y'all are too young to even know this person. But does anybody remember Girls Gone Wild from back in the day? Like, they used to have, I think they would send you a video or DVD of girls like, at Girls Gone Wild, and the owner, the founder of that. So I interviewed him, right? I interviewed him because of a case that he has in Mexico. And the United States government is basically not even recognizing Mexico's jurisdiction. He won his case in Mexico. They ain't recognizing it, though. So they don't really care. Hey, Jarvis. I'm a new subscriber. What's up? Crystal said that was... Crystal said that Girls Gone Wild was pre-tip drill. I definitely think he kind of helped push that needle forward as far as women being exposed knowingly or unknowingly. But I don't know. When I look at cases, you guys, when we say, oh, we want justice, we want this, I would love for the Cabo Six, because if you know your loved one is now passed away and died under mysterious circumstances, and their friends left them in another country, that's cringy. But then you also know that these people don't have money. So if you're filing a civil suit against them, you want them to feel your pain and you want them to hurt. They don't have money. None of them are, when I think of they have money, like you at least want $75,000. That's not going to help you heal the hurt from your loved one, but $50,000, $75,000, I prefer a few million in a lawsuit that's viable, where you're actually a victim. Then yeah, but if you know these people don't collectively have money, suing them civilly, like for example, if Carlos gets civilly sued because a civil suit means, remember what happened to OJ? OJ got found guilty of the unaliving Nicole, but then OJ Simpson for y'all young ones. And then he also got civilly sued by her family, and he had to pay out millions of dollars to her family. I'm pretty sure he died with not that much money because he had to just fork over that money. When someone sues you guys, or when you sue somebody, is anybody ever won a lawsuit? Anybody ever won a lawsuit? Yeah. Anybody ever won a lawsuit? They got to give you they got to give you your coin. You know, Honey Drip says, from my understanding, the family is doing that in hopes that the facts come out in court, which may lead to criminal cases being reopened. Okay, and I don't know enough about that to even speak on it. Crystal, you okay? Erin, DMV, Sister Roger, damn, all y'all had lawsuits? Teach us. Y'all need to come out and do a class to teach us. Erin, you know everybody. I see you bringing all your peoples up in here. I see that. Come on, thank y'all so much. So as far as that Cabo 6 case, I see what you mean. That's a good point, Honey Drip. They are hoping that the criminal investigation. Somebody asked earlier, why aren't these things investigated? Because people aren't making enough noise. The families are not making enough noise, and they're like, okay, let's move on to the next big thing. Because y'all remember the day after Romika lost her life, somebody else got unalived on national television, and this person had a big fan base. They were a podcaster, and so that took over the airwaves because what this person represented. It just made sense for them to get that. But y'all see how fast the news cycle goes. Y'all see how hard and how much manpower they put toward finding that podcaster's killer. Okay, so let me go on to my live stream right now. Oops, wrong one. Yeah, you see how much time they put together just like finding that. But then when it comes to cases like this, with the underrepresented, underserved, and they probably like it was a domestic issue. My theory with this is the police departments, when they have family members and like if a big attorney, like a big law firm was to take on Romika's case, then obviously the police department wouldn't have a choice but to investigate, because then we're talking about the city might be being liable, and the city don't want that. The city is going to clear their name before they clear anybody else's. They will throw their citizens under the bus to make sure that they are not held liable. So they'll pacify. What they'll do is they'll pacify. Stick a pacifier in your mouth to make it look like we're working as hard as we can, and they hope you shut up and hope you go away. That's what we've seen happen countless times, which is why as many people that you can get to scream the name of deceased, then Jay Wright, the producer's in the building. Hey. Okay. I'm just reading some of the comments now, y'all. The twins. Okay. Crystal brought up a good case. The twins that never made their flight and were found deceased in the mountains. Jarvis says, "Hey, pretty brown." So there's another case that I want to tell y'all about that I've really been looking in. Jarvis is a major producer. Jarvis, I need a Naja News jingle. So I can be like, yeah, watch Naja. I need like a little Naja News jingle. Can you because I'm gonna tell you what I want. I want something that gives like a news serious vibe, but then with a hip hop beat. Or soca, because I love soca music. Or reggae. I absolutely love reggae. Or I'm from Memphis, so anything like that sounds like Project Pat, because I'm his number one fan. I am Project Pat's number one fan. I did get a chance to rap on stage with Project Pat. If y'all want to hear that story, I could. Well, this is a serious live, but I will reserve that and tell y'all about that. Zoe said he gonna do it for free. What you gonna do to get him to do it for free, Zoe? You know what? Never mind. Don't tell. Tell me in the DM. Tell me on them. You're from my state. Where are you from, God's fave? Okay, you're from Tennessee. Are you from Memphis, or are you like from one of the other cities? I'm keeping an account of all of these cases y'all are telling me, and I realized I didn't have to write them down because I could just go back through the chat of this. Duh. Also, y'all, I'm on YouTube. How do I find my live? Jarvis says you want to hear this story. Yeah. Jarvis, we are here to talk about serious matters. But I'm gonna tell y'all real fast, okay, guys? Please don't. Oh, so what up, Nashville? Please don't click off this live, y'all. So let me just tell y'all real fast. So the year was 20. I had not met my husband yet. Me and Tony met in 2013. So this had to be 2012. Project Pat was doing a concert in Brooklyn, New York. Project Pat, not with 36 Mafia, just Brooklyn, New York. I'm absolutely from Memphis. I did not cover the Dolph case, Honey Drip, because I just got started with doing this type of work because of Romika's case. I was so drawn into the intricacies of this case that I just started doing these types of cases. But I am working on some more cases in it because now people are sending me cases and some that are still happening. Okay, Jarvis, let me stay focused. Y'all are trying to get me off focus. I'm trying to tell Jarvis about how I rapped on stage with Project Pat, how I ended up on stage. And the picture is buried deep somewhere on my Instagram if you want to see it. So my homegirls know that I'm a relentless Project Pat fan. I know every single song. Like I'm Memphis through and through. Although I've been in New York for like 18 years now. So we go to the concert in Brooklyn. It's nothing but white people there. And I'm like, dang. But y'all know Pat has like a cult following. 36 Mafia has like a grunge underground cult following. So we go to Brooklyn and I wore my Memphis Tigers t-shirt. I remember I had a Memphis Tigers t-shirt and some tight white pants. And my booty was real big and round back then because I used to go to the gym and squat every day. Not so much anymore. I've gotten a lot slimmer and lost a lot of muscle. So let me tell you, Jarvis. So Project Pat is there by himself with some people. Like he didn't bring any of the famous people. I guess these were like his homies. And so they play book, do, 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 book, you know. And I'm like, LaChat is not here. Who's gonna sing the girl part? So my homegirl pushed me in my back as hard as she could, pushed me in my back and pushed me through this big sea of white folks. And I had my Memphis Tigers, and my homegirl was like, my homegirl's from Memphis. She can sing Project Pat's part. Don't y'all know Project Pat homeboys grab, and I was like, I can do it. And I guess they thought that meant I want to come on stage. So they grabbed my arms, pulled me up on stage, and I'm just like, so it's like, yeah, you like my outfit. Can't even fake the deal. Then Pat is like, yeah, I thought you had your boy on that light bill. And I'm like, always in my face, talking this and that. Y'all, I'm on the damn stage rapping with Project Pat. True story, it really happened. I got the pictures to prove it. Went backstage to hang out with them. The only person that had a video of that went to jail. He went to jail. And I remember telling the dude, they had a professional cameraman there. And I was like, hey, I will pay you. Can I have the footage? Like, I will come to you to get it. Can I just have it? He was like, yeah, I got you. We exchanged Instagrams. I was reaching out to him. The boy went to jail. So there's no video, but I do have photos. I have photo proof. Miss Naja lived a lot of lives, y'all. Man, I'd have had so many lives. So yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened, Jarvis. That's what happened. All right, hit the thumbs up button. Okay, so all right, so let's get back focused, guys, because y'all kind of got me hyped now. I'm hot too. Project Pat did follow me on Instagram for a while. For some unknown reason, he unfollowed me. I believe when he got engaged. He unfollowed me, and I'm still sad about that to this day, but I still follow him. God's Face said, you can't tell she's new because she seems like she's been doing this for a while. Yeah, so I've been interviewing and doing media and personality work my entire career. That's what my career comprises of. But putting together stories like this in a way that brings y'all new information, because you can go on YouTube and find any one of these stories, but I've seen so many stories now that pissed me off. Did y'all see the one where the black girl named Brianna, she's Afro-Latina from the Bronx, she was being interviewed by a pro-lifer, an anti-abortion, I can't call this a journalist. And the conversation got real heated and Brianna popped her twice. Anybody see that? Anybody know what I'm talking about? So that story has come back up in the news. And by the way, that incident happened a couple blocks away from me. Both of these girls live in New York. So I'm trying to find them because I have some new information about that particular case. It's a mess. And it's not like high crime, but somebody did get punched in the face. twice. She hit that girl. She boom cacked that girl. She skiddly dinky dinked her ass. Like, so it was bad. Um, Dakara Johnson's mother is a friend of mine. How is she doing? How is Dakara's mom doing? Damn. How is Dakara's mother doing? Is she okay? Is she I saw the interviews. I watched a YouTube video on Dakara's story tonight. I love the fact that no one is that I have seen is focusing too heavily on her line of work. Because I don't give a damn what you do. You should not have her. That girl's life shouldn't have been over like that. And I like that her mom is like, "It's my kid, and I'm sticking beside her. She should be here." So I'm going to see her on Thursday. So DMV sister, what I've learned from this Romika case is there's a special level of sensitivity that comes with developing stories. We do know the clean version, like not clean version, but it is very crystal clear who took Zakara's life. We've not heard from this person yet. The incident happened around the same time Romika's life was taken. So when I saw that case, I was like, okay, now that she's been found and now we have a suspect, there's a suspect in custody. I am concerned about sharing details of that case because I can see the hurt of this story that I've been covering. I can see the hurt every day of the family and everybody involved. Like, so I don't know. Like, I would love to find a way to be able to talk about and perhaps even follow Dakara's story. Maybe I will, but, just to talk about her life, find some pictures of her and who she was as a person, because we knew her at the end of her life, but she lived was she 19? How old was she? Dakara used to shampoo my hair. She was a very sweet girl. Maybe her mom will give me information when I go see her. If she doesn't mind, I could honor Dakara's life and honor this case, and mom gives you direct information. Nobody's gonna come for me when I make a video on Dakara if I'm like, hey, we got this info from Dakara's mama. Who gonna check me, boo? So if Dakara's mother will just give you some insight and just even you can show Dakara's mother how I present information. If she even gives me the okay to be like, yeah, I want her to talk about my baby and bring some light to the case. Y'all see how hard I go when I get a case. Y'all see how hard I go when I get a case. So I will do it. I will absolutely do it. Shrita says, I'm from Chicago. A lot of these cases get let go because when the homicide detectives step out into the neighborhoods to do groundwork, people don't come forward out of fear. The people that I've spoken to, the person whose letter I read, thank you, Shrita. The person that I read on the video that I did, they were shaking. And obviously, I won't talk about how I got their information, but they talked to me. I believe that they talked to me because they were scared. They don't know who sent me. And think about it. If you witness something, you walking down the street and all of a sudden somebody says, hey, I'm Naja Hall from Naja News. I understand that you were a witness on this particular incident. You're going to be like, who are you? I did not threaten this person to talk to me. I did not scare them into talking to me, but I could sense an overall feeling of outright fear when I talked to them. That's something that I didn't say in that video. I can sense outright fear because there's some vloggers, I can't call them journalists. There's some that would be like, hey, if you don't give me your information if you don't tell me the story, I'm going to release your information. There's some people out there that are grimy like that. That's just not my style. I'm not as far as I want to be. I'm surely not where I want to be. I'm still trying, but I thrive on good relationships and just doing right by people, which is why I've had just such blessed experiences. But I do know that person was scared of me. Honey Drip said, that's my question. The person whose transcript you read, did you believe their account? Their account was, and y'all know that conversation was long, but if we're gonna wrap it up, their account, if we're gonna wrap up, they talked about, they said, I was driving, I saw an argument, I saw her going at I saw her going at Holly. I pulled over to be nosy, and then I saw her up the pistol, the pow pow. Oh my God, I'm talking like TikTok. I saw her up the pow pow, and she said she saw her sitting on top of the car. I literally reported what I saw. And so one thing I did with her, with the witness, I've learned is you don't interrupt them while they're telling their account, because you don't want them to lose their train of thought, and you don't ever want to lead your witness. So when they said that, and remember, I read the letter to y'all without any emotion, without injecting. I think one time I said Romika approached them. Romika approached them. So I did say that, when the witness said that, I don't think anybody out there, people are saying, oh, it was an ambush. However, if she did approach them, then, let's talk about restraining orders real quick, Honey Drip. I'm glad you brought this up. But to answer your question, I've seen the most convincing witnesses be found to be outright liars. I've seen psychiatrists get on the stand, tell their account of a story, and then we come to find out that it's a lie. So for me to say I believe a witness, I can't say I will 100% believe any witness account. The Central Park Five was locked up for damn near their whole the rest of their childhoods, for double-digit years, because a witness swore to God they were her assailants. So as far as me believing the witness, I can't believe. It's so difficult for me because I know how inaccurate witness testimony could be. Honey Drip, I hope that answers your question. I can't say yes, I believe that witness wholly, but I also cannot say no, that I don't believe this. I definitely believe that witness believes they saw what they told me they saw. I believed it, because then I went back and started asking them questions like, okay, so, can you give me some more detail on this? And they didn't go back. They didn't mess up the story. They doubled down on what they said very calmly. Like, no, yeah, I saw her approaching them. She was rah, rah, rah. Hey, could you hear any words? I don't give a fuck about you. What did she say? What did she say? I forget what the witness claims, alleges that Romika said. I forget. But, yeah. Okay, next question. Thank you, DMV sister. Her life was presented very well from the county government. They felt comfortable talking to you. There were some things in there that, yeah, if I thought it was a lie, because anything that, when I first got on here, for those of y'all that are just joining, we talked about like a little bit of drama, like, boy, if you can call it drama. I wanted to address that because, things that, as a journalist, like, y'all can look at my track record. We're just meeting each other here, but I don't hide the breadth and body of my work, and some of the conversations, and very important conversations, some very menial, but I don't hide those. They're very available. And so I wouldn't want to stick my name beside something, which is why I did give the disclaimers, and I was very transparent about what happened. Somebody even asked me, did this person come to you? I had their information. They were so scared to talk to me. I had to reassure them I'm not a bad person, and if they told me don't even say anything, I would not have. Later that, I didn't beg, but I was just like, hey, so it would be better, because I knew it would be better, me changing their voice. I would say, hey, I can change your sex. Nobody will know if you are male or female. I can make your voice sound like a robot so they can understand the words. And they were like, I don't even want that. No. I said, well, is it okay if I read? They said, yes. Hey, Jay. Jay said, what's going on? God's Faith said, everyone keeps saying they approach Romika. I don't know if the city government will go as far as to give us one of those cameras that's right above where they were, or right adjacent, or some witness will come out. But I do know that they are going around subpoenaing. Some witnesses have been contacted to speak. God's phase. I'm just asking because I'm one of those people who didn't believe it. I didn't think Naja was lying. I thought the witness was, so that's why I asked Naja if she believed it herself. That's a very fair question. That's a very fair question. I appreciate you asking me that question. Any witness, and let's just set a ground rule. Any witness that I bring to y'all, even if I have to be the messenger and reading what they said instead of just playing some footage for you, I'm presenting you the news. I am presenting it. You decipher how you want to. Just like if I showed up on the scene and I asked the people's who the voices that we recognize, if I asked them what happened, I would literally just be the person giving them the microphone and they would tell their accounts. That's what I was doing in that instance. I think there was some facts that nobody else would have said and didn't sound like she was choosing sides. Thank you for answering. Absolutely, Honey Dip. I really appreciate you asking. I don't think they approached her either. There wouldn't have been a reason for her to be out of the car. I understand that everybody you talk to won't be truthful. I follow a lot of cases, so I've heard witnesses sound like they're telling the truth. You say and turn out to be lying. Man, I'm talking about lying through their teeth. Lying through their teeth and look sincere. I'm talking about, I've seen little old lady witnesses turn out to be pathological liars. I've seen it, which is why I'm so glad I don't have to do the job of like finding out, like of deciphering, like the attorneys have to go and do all that stuff. So Zoe says Zoe want to know why Tupac was killed. I'm not getting in that. Anybody that I'm not getting on that. Zoe said that's something we all been wanting to know since 97. I'm not going to be the one to bring even that case back up. So do y'all want to move on and talk about the Diddy case now? Y'all want to talk about Diddy case? All right. Okay. So let's talk about the Diddy trial. As some of you might know, I was actually in the courtroom on last Friday. Let me drink some water. Jay Wright, I need my Naja News. Aaron and Zoe, can y'all make sure I get Jay Wright's information? Can y'all make sure? God's Fave said that Diddy is a monster. He's done some monstrous things. In one of my videos, I said that the stories that I would be telling talk about some of the monstrous things that some humans do and some of the very human things that monsters do. And is it up to us really to classify which category one of those is in? I don't know. I actually just finished watching Monster on Netflix. The last episode is nasty. Y'all think, Honey Drip says, do y'all think Diddy got enough time? Did Diddy really break down and crown the floor? Okay, see what happened, y'all? Because I know we saw the courtroom sketch. When I saw it, I was like, okay, that's kind of what happened. And remember, I was sitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows back from him. So he was up there and we were all, his back was facing us. So the court sketch person had a way different vantage point than those of us that were sitting behind him did. So this is what I think happened. You know, they make you stand up, and when the judge is reading the sentencing, the judge is like, I sentence you to 50 months and da 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 da. And he broke down, and then what I think was, because the prosecution opened up the at 10:44 a.m. when everything started, the prosecution straight up fired off, hey, we want him to serve 135 months. I said, God damn. What is 135? The prosecution was like, I want him to serve 135 months. So I'm just like, I had to and they took our phones, so I couldn't even take my phone and calculate what that is. They made us check all of our phones and devices. Because that day I didn't go as pressed. I can go ahead and tell y'all, I went in with his family. So that's how I was able to gain access. But my opinion on that, still is what it is. So they said 50 months. And I was just like, God damn. Okay. He was relieved. I think when you know how you collapse in relief, but then also disbelief? Y'all know, does that make sense? Like, you're somebody says 135 months and you're like, damn, that's over 10 years. So I think when he didn't hear 135, a part of it was like, and then when they said the 50 months, thank you, Jarvis. Jarvis said he's gonna work on my Naja News jingle. I'll send you like this little clip that I have, Jarvis. If I need your information, Aaron, can you send me Jarvis's email me Jarvis's email so I can email Jarvis the this clip that I have, like this little sound thing that I want to build upon. That way you're not starting just from scratch. So when they said that 50 months, and then now, y'all, we know we've done the math on that particular video. We know that he's going to get credit for time served, and then in federal prison, because my last coworker, the person that I did the podcast with, he just got sentenced to 87 months in federal prison. So I know a lot about federal prison sentences. He has to serve, and if they send you to federal prison, you have to serve 85% of your sentence. So you do the math. Did he got 50 months? He gets credit for time served, and then they gave him a 2 extra months credit. I'm not sure. I don't remember what that's for. So if you do the math, I think it comes down to like 29 and a half months or something. And I've seen talk of a halfway house and all this other stuff. So he could be walking the streets in 2 years. I think his legacy is forever tarnished. In these past 15 or so years, as disgruntled artists have started speaking out and about their experiences with him, I don't necessarily know like if his reputation is in disrepair, but I know this right here tarnishes the legacy. His kids were super nice. Yes, it is true that his son like grabbed the lady's glasses. He thought the lady had on some Meta glasses. And if you own a pair of Meta glasses, in order for those glasses to be on, they have like, you can see a light. You can't record on Meta glasses because there's like a little light that's visible so that people cannot sneak and record. The lady did not have on Meta glasses, but his son did grab that lady. So yeah, God's faith said he's gonna get credit for time. Yeah, he's gonna get credit for time. The judge said it. You get 50 months to serve concurrently with time served. So he's already been in there 14 months. Plus he got the 2 extra credits. So he's gotten credit. So automatically deduct 16 months from that 50-month sentence. Nobody will want to be affiliated with him but his children. His children, I believe, I think they all live in LA now as well. I was thinking about that. Like, what do they do for financial security? Because I don't know if they've gone to college. Like, I'm not sure about, or they're all pursuing careers in entertainment. But these kids are so visible. It's not like they'll be able to separate or defect from their dad unless they publicly say, hey, I don't want nothing to do with him. And perhaps they'll get opportunities. I'm just thinking, what would they do? I was looking at all of them. These children have grown up in extreme wealth and privilege. And the breadwinner is no longer there. He got slapped with a civil suit. Today is, I think, Friday night or Monday night. I got word that he's getting slapped with civil suits now. So that's going to, if those people win those civil suits, we know Cassie won that big one of that undisclosed amount. They rumored it to be 35 million. We don't know. Nobody knows the exact number, guys. We're just speculating. But if these people win these other civil suits, that's cash. So he might have to take money from the kid's trust. Well, you can't take money from a trust. Diddy thought his money was gonna get him off. He was already planning speaking engagements. Okay, so when the prosecution first opened up, she was like this stern looking. I don't know if she was Jewish or she wasn't like. Yeah, she I don't know. She was white, European woman of European descent, and she was like, after she said, the state of New York vouches him. We want him he deserves to do 135 years. He's not taking this seriously, Your Honor. He is so arrogant that he's already booked a speaking engagement in Miami. And you could hear people go, ooh, and they were like, settle down, be quiet. And we were all like, ooh, and I couldn't show facial expression because who I was sitting with and where I was sitting. But I was just like, I took my little notebook. I have all my I keep all my notes in my little strawberry shortcake notebook. I took my little notebook. I was like, yeah. I had to take notes like an old school reporter because they took our phones from us. We couldn't record, no recording devices, nothing. So then when the prosecution spoke for at least, oh my God, it was about an hour 30. I didn't have I didn't have a watch and I didn't have my phone. So I wish I would have timed it. but they spoke for a long time. But when the defense came up, the first thing that they made sure to clear up and say, hey, his speaking engagement was because he sees the conditions of prisons. He sees that there's so many talented men in prisons. He was going to do speaking engagements to appeal for the incarcerated. So they made sure to clear that up. They cleared it up. Hey, D-Red, my husband said that he will be out in about 2 years. He said there are programs in the feds that can reduce his time. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yep. We're giving it about, like I did the calculation. If we look at the credit that he got for time served, that's already putting him in 30-something months. 2 years is 24 months. So, he might be out. But my question is like, okay, what is he going to do? Is it going to be like a Russell Simmons situation? What will he do with himself? How much money will he have? They didn't R. Kelly him, to where he's bankrupt and has nothing. Yeah, I think about that. Like, how will he make bread? Is he going to have to sell off all his assets? I'm sure his legal fees, he had a heavy hitting legal team. And I think they've been with him for a long time. So, nobody want to be affiliated. Yeah. Whew. You're right. 100% right. I wish he would have gotten that 135 months. So I can almost firmly say that I bet his victims do too. I bet we saw the video. We've heard the rumors and the accusations and the actual accounts from his artists. Like we've heard those things. So, do you feel like he got off easy or not? Whew, okay, y'all. I am going to end this live now. We've had a really good time. Thank you all for participating. This is my first one. I will be far more organized next time because I want this to be a pretty live experience for you guys. But I really appreciate you attending. Some of y'all, somebody owe me a jingle track. No, just kidding. But I do want to talk to you, Jarvis, to get that together. And I'm going to go and look into all of these cases that you all gave me. You gave me a great head start. And just please make sure you turn on your notifications, because what I realize YouTube is doing, they won't show stuff to those people that are subscribed to me. They won't specifically do it because they're trying to still figure out where I fit in the algorithm. But I know I want to stay in the vein of presenting cases so that we can talk about cases from different perspectives. So thank you all for your support. I appreciate you being here. Please, please, please go to my page real fast as soon as this is over and turn on the notifications so that you can, as soon as I get a post, as soon as I post something, you can go on there. I get bumped up in the algorithm if you get the post, you like it, and you make a comment. You can even just leave a heart. But as soon as I post something, I just need y'all to make sure that you comment so that the algorithm can start sharing the videos with more people and it can continue to get seen. So you all have a beautiful evening. Thank you for being here with me, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you. Good night.